Hey guys, today we have the Toyota Land Cruiser 2024 edition, and to get into the specs right away. MSRP on this is $68,155. It's got a 2.4 liter 4-cylinder iForce Max hybrid engine with an 8-speed automatic, and it's 4-wheel drive. This gets 326 horsepower, 465 torque from only 4 cylinders. And it gets unofficially about like 7.7 seconds, 0 to 60. MPG is 22 city, 25 highway, 23 combined, and the weight on this is about 5,000 pounds. So starting off with the outside, we have this in a nice black. It's just simply black, that's all it is. And it's a nice glossy look. Again, the car is brand new, of course, too, but it's really, really glossy. You really want to take care of this paint. I wouldn't want to see this mistreated, but overall, I want to just take the entire look of the car. Just, of course, it builds on the previous model, so it just looks really good. It's just very blocky, pretty tall design too, so it kind of has like a lot of presence. This definitely gets a good amount of looks. It's not a Ferrari or anything, but it definitely gets a good amount of looks for what it is. And of course, you get the reliability of Toyota. But getting onto the wheels, we do have the 18-inch matte alloy wheels. So these are smaller, but for off-road, obviously you don't want really big wheels. You can get the optional 20-inch wheels in case you want to, but yeah, kind of gets the job done as well too. On the front side, we have the nice headlights. So I will say they're like a squarish design. You have like projector headlights with like a LED bar inside there. And then what's really cool about this car is you can actually get like the old 1950s round headlights. So in case you like the older model, kind of want to just build like kind of bit of just like the heritage of this car that it comes with, as well as the whole front grille, which is like the heritage grille as they call it. And you also have the Toyota spelled out. So I kind of like this whole retro modern design. I'm probably going to refer back to those words very often in this car, but again, it's a very cool look. And then if you kind of go lower, you get the rigid fog lamps down here, in case you need that when you're going, of course, off-road. You also do get 2 tow hooks on the bottom for the front of the car and also the back of the car in case you need to maybe get stuck and you can have one of your friends pull you out. There is also a camera on the front, so maybe let's say you're going off-road or maybe there's some sort of obstacle in front of you. You can also see it inside the car, especially when you're driving. Maybe you're using the crawl mode, which I'll talk about more later. It's really cool that you can actually see like things in front of you, and then on the bottom, there is also a skid plate. So maybe, of course, you're going off-road or anywhere. That whole skid plate would, of course, protect your engine from anything hitting it, any rocks or anything that could possibly damage it. On the back side, we have the tail lights, LED, of course, nice design. We have the iForce Max symbol here, and we also have the little hybrid logo that we've seen on other of the hybrids that we've seen on Toyota. We have the Toyota symbol, and then we have the whole black glass here. So in case you want to open that, it's a little bit hidden on the black car, but simply press this button. It pops it off. You will have to open it manually, but bring this up and you do get quick access to like anything inside in case you don't want to like fully open it, or maybe you have your pet inside, maybe just like arrive to your journey wherever your destination. You want to give your pets a bit of fresh air, kind of just simply open it here. And then you have one camera here and you actually have one down here. This is more like your backup camera, and this is for your rear view camera. So in case maybe they have like full storage back here, full luggage, you can't actually see backwards, this camera would be perfect for this, so just really good to have. But to close this down, just bring it down. You will have to like kind of push it in a bit, so you have to get your fingers a bit. We'll leave a bit of smudges, but it's completely fine. Down below, we do have the tow hook, so in case you gotta, of course, tow anything. Keeps it hidden. I guess it could have been fine with exposed, but I guess it's good that they also give you the option of like a cover. And then in case you gotta get inside the car, the button's about here under the Toyota symbol. It beeps at you. But once we open this up, you get a ton of storage in here. So even with the seats up, you can put all your luggage back here. You get a lot of little storage compartments. So you have this front one here. You have another one on the left side. Same thing on the right side as well too. Maybe little things that you might need. And then deep down there, I'm gonna have to jump into the car a bit. But you bring this up and you have a little bit more storage for maybe like any towing or anything you might need quickly. And then what's kind of interesting, even though there's no third row option for this car, you do have it kind of like on the Lexus version of this. But you have some cup holders, USB-C ports, and then you also have another 120 volt, and it has full also grounding as well too. So that's kind of easy in case you got to charge anything, maybe a laptop, or so it's just really good to have. And then one kind of nice thing, not a lot of SUVs have this. Well, this is, I guess, kind of meant more for like a third row. I guess the way they set it up, maybe they just change their mind or they'll bring it back later. There is AC vents back here, so it's really good in case maybe you have pets, long trip or anything. And then I will say, this is kind of high up. So if you got to like push things in or put things in here, you will have to lift them kind of high up, and that has to do with like the whole hybrid system being right below this. But it's just interesting to see. But to close this up, you do get a button up here. But I actually forgot, I actually have to do the trunk challenge real quick. So I'm inside the trunk now, of course. I'm crossed my legs, but I'm completely roomy. My head's good. You could have actually 2 people back here. Of course, also sitting there. Maybe have the glass open in case you want some fresh air while you're also inside your car as well too. Maybe you're doing some car shoots. You got to like record some stuff right out of the car. So this would be perfect. Maybe, I know legally you're not supposed to do this, but you could simply be doing like some B-roll for some car or anything like that. So back outside, if you got to close the trunk, you have a button. So simply just press that and it closes it up for you. Final thing to mention, actually, there is also a spare tire down below. So it's really good. So you actually have a spare tire in case you're wondering where that might be. So to get inside the car, you have two options. You actually have the digital key and you also have the physical key. So the physical key, and then I want to mention really quickly the running boards. So on the outside, you have the running boards, and yeah, just have a nice little design in case you got to step up because the car is a bit higher. But getting inside, just open up the door. We have some controls, of course, as you would expect. And then going on to the seat controls, we have 8-way adjustable. And then I will mention one quick thing. Maybe you have like longer legs, you want more support. You can also like pull this out in case you want that outer in. It is manual, but it is cool that they give you that option. But at this point, let me get inside the car and we'll show off all the cool things inside. It is a bit high up. So once inside, we have the steering wheel, of course. So you have a good sized steering wheel. On the left side, we kind of have more of the music controls. You get to adjust the volume. Right side, of course, more of the cruise controls. Also going forward and backward on your music. On the back side, I will actually mention this little black thing is actually kind of to make sure that you're paying attention. So maybe you're texting, it'll actually remind you like, hey, pay attention, which is really good. Again, the whole safety thing that Toyota always focuses on. And the screen back here, it's like a good display screen, kind of just gives you your usual settings. You can like fully customize it. There's a lot of settings in case you want to adjust that. On the center, we have the 12.3-inch display. Maybe you got to use that. You have your full maybe maps or your music. Cool thing about Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which are both wireless. You have your music on the right side, maybe your map on the left side, or switch that around too, which is really cool. On the AC controls right below that, really cool that there's a lot of physical buttons for the reason that maybe you're driving, especially off-road. You don't only want to like quickly glance down. You might miss an obstacle or hit something, or maybe there's a bear in front of you or anything like that. The good thing about just having a lot of physical buttons is really easy access. And then you have heated seats, cooled seats, or actually ventilated seats to be exact, but just really good to have. Below that, we have the view button. So it's kind of interesting how this works. You press that, shows you like 360 view of the entire car. So it kind of just keeps going in circles. As I mentioned, the front camera, when you're maybe doing crawling with a crawl mode, you could have that on and you can actually see any obstacles that you might miss because the car does sit a bit higher as well too. Right below that too, we also have 3 USB-C ports, 2 for charging, 1 more for like data transfer. It does charge still, but not at like the optimal speeds. Right below that, of course too, we have also the wireless charger. So I have my S24, pop that there and it just simply just starts charging. You have a little bit of cubby space on the left side. It's kind of interesting. You can easily like actually kind of have to like go around either the Prindle or go on the left side, which is not much space, but it's good in case you might want to throw some things there. You have the mode select for, of course, like eco, sport, or of course normal mode. The Prindle has good design. It's like leather wrapped, kind of has like good feel, really chunky feel, so it feels very, I guess, manly. But the whole Prindle, of course, just works. I won't get into like the full buttons for all like the off-roading. I don't fully know how to explain the best I can. But you do, of course, have like the lock-in differentials for the front and back, traction control, turn that on and off. So it's just really good to have. You also have like the crawl mode, which I mentioned. So maybe you're going off-road and it's just really useful for maybe at a slower speeds or you got to get over any obstacles. We have 2 cup holders. So I will say they're standard cup holder size. You can't really feel like a huge water bottle. So maybe you have like a big water bottle. I don't have my 40-ounce hydro flask today, but if I had it here, it definitely wouldn't fit. But overall, you do get 2 cup holders. I think in total, the whole car has about like 12 cup holders. So that's really high up. So in case you have a lot of cups or I guess bottles as well too. Here in the center is really cool. So this one has like the whole premium upgrade on this car, but it gives you also the cool box. So you maybe want to like cool down some things. Press the button here, turns on the fans, keep anything you want to keep cool in there. And it does specify don't put any like meter fish in there. So it's good to know as well too. But again, there's also just really good options all around. You have the 14 speaker system, which I'll talk about more in the drive as well too. And I will mention this also has the powered moonroof as well too. So as you can see, I'm kind of well lit and it's also just really good to have when you're going off-road. Maybe you want to see all around you and it gives you a very good, like more of a, I guess, like a 360 view as well too. One more thing I mentioned in the back as well too, you also have like your rear view camera. The reason I mention it is if you flip this forward, it actually goes to the camera mode. So maybe again, full luggage in the back, you can actually see when you're looking backwards. The camera's really perfect for, of course, seeing any obstacles behind you or any cars. So on the back seats, I actually don't need to crouch down for this one, but I will need to step in. So once inside, my driver's side position, again, knee room is really good. Headroom is good too. And again, just really roomy. I feel comfortable in here. I will say the front seats are a little bit more cushy compared to the back ones, but I will mention, like, I don't know, I guess you can kind of know when you sit on the seat if you could sit on it for like a long distance. So they're not the comfiest seats compared to the front ones, but I'd be completely fine sitting back here if not falling asleep. And another cool thing, you can also like bring it back in case you want to be like more lean back as well too. So maybe you want to be completely flat, you want to nap or something, you could bring it back like this as well too. But if not, you could bring it forward as well. But we do also get the 2 cup holders here on the armrest. So maybe you want to cap your drinks here or anything like that. On the center, we have also the climate control, so you could actually just adjust that. You don't have to ask the front people to adjust that for you. Go up and down on temperature. You can turn it off as well too. 2 USB-C ports in case you got to charge some phones. And also we have like the 12-volt cigarette lighter as well too, in case you need that. And of course some space back here too. But overall, just really good design. I kind of wish there was like a full glass on top, but I guess maybe for off-road, for whatever reason, maybe you don't want as much glass, or I don't know. But I think it would have been a more airy look if they did have that option. And of course, you also do have AC controls back here. So it's really good to have, not just down here or anything like that, like most cars do. They have it up here, so keep your whole actually head cool and everything. And I actually want to mention while I'm back here, I can actually bring down these seats. And what's kind of interesting is like they kind of planned out like the whole option of having like back row seats. So if I bring this forward, throws it backward. So this is what like most cars typically have when they have like the third row back there. I guess maybe there was plans, or maybe they decided against it, or maybe later on we'll see. But there is the whole hybrid system down there. So we'll see what happens, I guess, in the future for the Land Cruiser. So driving this car, I will say, again, there's a really high ride height to this. So you feel like you're above a lot of cars. I kind of like that, especially for visibility. But even off-road, of course, kind of just gives you more visibility around like your landscape. And it does drive really well. It doesn't have like air suspension or anything, but it sometimes makes me think it does. But it has like, it reminds me of like the Lexus review, the RX, which it gives you feedback definitely, but you get like a very like, not wafty, but like, you get like proper amount of feedback that you would need, I guess, when you're driving. So it's not too much, not too little. It's just like the right amount. Noise insulation on this car is good as well too. It feels like it's well insulated. It's like the engineering was really good there. And it does also have like a 14 speaker JBL system. So listening to any music, this just sounds good overall. I think the bass is like more like flat, not in a bad way, but just more flat compared to like, I think some cars definitely have like more elevated like subs or just by default. But you can also adjust that and you increase the sub or yeah, just the bass and everything in the car. Safety systems on this car, I want to just mention them real quick. If you want to look at them, there's tons of them. I'm just gonna flash them forward in case you want to like stop and pause the video. But again, I kind of like that Toyota has always had like that good like safe sense. So lots of like safety things in case you might need that. For my road testing, I will say the car just drives well. It does also have like the road tires or trail tires. So drive smooth, it would be completely fine for like day-to-day use. You can also change out the tires maybe for some more smoother ones, but I think the car just drives like, if you got a daily list or anything, it's like good space, put in like full 5 adults and full luggage or long road trip. And again, as I mentioned, the seats pretty comfy as well too. Back ones are a tiny bit stiffer, but not in a stiff way where you can be in a long like I guess like trip on this. So completely fine as well too. Alright guys, that completes the review for the Land Cruiser 2024 Toyota, of course, car. Again, in all black and just really black interior as well too. I really love this car. I will say honestly, this is not on my list of cars that I was interested in. But I think at this point, I'm actually a lot more interested in this car. I think it's something to definitely check out in case you're interested in a car like this. Maybe more for off-road or I guess for just daily driving, but just really good car overall. And again, thank you as always. Subscribe and throw me down some comments down below. And again, until next time. Wait, that was too aggressive. That was like GTA or something. I was like, let me get high enough so I don't...